and for the girl. But for Betty and Onyx's son in particular, we're having a typically tough time.
So you're looking for a boy penguin.
A boy penguin name, yep.
Because baby A just isn't going to cut it anymore.
As much as I love calling him A, he definitely needs a nice, unique name.
So
don't you even say it.
If people have suggestions, I mean, how do they get them to you? What's the best way to do
We
it?
were thinking maybe they could call here, or they can email me at penguins@jenkinsons.com.
Or even I know you have a Facebook page too,
Yes,
right? So they
we
can go
also
on
have
there
a
and
Facebook,
suggest.
yes. Yep.
So she wants to tell you a little bit about Baby A's personality.
Personality, so we can come up with a good name, not just a typical name, but a
Yes.
really good name.
As cute as all the name suggestions that we did receive, we were kind of looking for something that had a good meaning to it.
Okay.
So Baby A was born on January 28th, or he hatched out of his little egg on January 28th. He's about 82 days old today, and he's about 6 pounds. A little bit of information about his mom and dad. Onyx is going to be 23 years old in June. He was born at the Aquarium in 1995. And Betty just turned 4 in March, so they're a little bit of an age difference there.
A little bit.
But they were both born at Jenkins.
Yes, they were, yep. And Betty, we actually named her after Betty's Bay in South Africa. That's one thing I forgot to mention. They are African penguins, so all of the fun snow-related names don't really fit with our little baby quite.
Right.
So since they're from Africa, they do like warm weather. We've had baby penguins names in the past that have had African meanings behind it, so there's a little bit of a hint for you guys.
So we don't
there.
want a name like Chili. I mean,
Chili or Snowflake or those
work.
kind of things don't really work for these guys.
So how does the little guy's personality?
So he's got a very interesting personality, just like his dad. He's got a little bit of both in them. He is very, very cute and cuddly. However, he can get very grumpy very randomly. He's very bulky, I like to say. He's kind of on the thicker end.
Okay.
Just like his dad. Solid, just like his dad.
Solid.
And I know you can't see him on the radio, but Onyx has a very large beak. I think Baby A is going to catch up to him just like that one day. He also makes this really, really funny honking noise where, like, the other penguins, they'll sound like they're screaming. It's like, ah! Like, this is the noise, the babies, that's the sound that they make, but A makes this like, mah noise. It's like, and it's so sudden and so random, so he's a very interesting little...
Great impersonation.
She's been practicing. I spend a lot of time with them.
Now, can you give us just as it doesn't have to be the full list, but just as an example, some of the names of the penguins that you have, just to give us sort of a ballpark.
So we do, like I said, we try to give them meaning. Betty's twin brother, his name is Vern, which we named him after the vernal equinox, the day he hatched.
Oh, cute.
She has a brother named Simon, who was named after a place in Africa also. We have penguins, Zaina and Zuri. They are sisters, and Zaina and Zuri both are like a African term for beautiful or pretty. So that kind of fit in there with the Africa theme.
Get some themes going there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Now, we did come up with a name for B and C. And there's a little story behind that if you're interested in hearing a little story. So babies B and C have different parents than baby A. Their parents are PJ and Asani. And they both came here specifically to have babies for us because they're really pretty good-looking penguins, and we thought that, to make sure that their genes are nice and healthy, we got these guys together, and they finally had their babies. Now, baby B, who is 77 days old today, was born on February 3rd. When he was about 4 or 5 days old, he had a bit of an accident, and he had a little bit of a cut on his back, and we did actually, Cindy, my director, stitched him up with one little baby stitch on his back. Now, that kind of ties into why we want to name him Stitch.
There you go. That's adorable.
And it's funny because in the spot that we believe the Stitch was, he has a little white feather. So he's got a little white spot there.
Wow.
So we want to name B Stitch, and we want to name C Lilo. Because they go together. Lilo and Stitch, the movie, obviously, is a little bit of a...
I don't know if you can hear these penguins. They're right in front of the microphone. They're so cute. And I don't know if you can get them to talk, but Cindy...
Can I say something? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Oh no, they're just
nope, they're pecking at the microphone.
They make out the microphone.
We have our friend Brad up here who's videotaping the whole thing. We're going to get the video up for you so you can see how adorable they are. And Cindy, do me a favor. You've known me a long time. Have I been talking to penguins the right way, or do you want to tell me how to talk to a penguin here?
Well, I would say that these penguins are African penguins and they bray like donkeys. Now, I don't think is probably the answer for them. Yeah. They're not used to that. They're used to more of a honky, like honk, honk. So you got to try that.
Liz, why don't you honk for the penguins?
Come on, Liz.
Okay, Betty.
No, don't use your regular voice. Honk for the penguins. Guys, thank you so much for coming out here.
This has been such a treat.
We'll
get the video up for all our listeners to see.
Including the information on how you can submit the name that you think that the baby should have. So guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
All right. 94.3 The Point, it's the Jersey Shore's hit music channel. 829, it's Lou and Liz, the gang from Jenkinson's Aquarium is still here. We had the visit from the penguins today. And if the only experience you have with the sound of a penguin is what Liz has done on the we want to make sure that you get the right sound. So Cindy's got a recording of the babies.
Yeah.
So this we're playing this right off of a phone, but this is kind of what it sounds like. Now, how old are they, Cindy, when that was recorded?
This was, I would say this was about, they were 2 months old at this point, so 60 days old.
And we'll attach a link to when I was there to visit with the babies, so you can see how little they were when we first saw them. And so you'll get all that. You'll see today's video of Betty and Onyx on the air, and the link to how you can suggest a baby name for Betty and Onyx's little baby boy penguin.
That's awesome. Guys, thank you so much. It was great to see you.